Hello, people. It is Monday, January 19th. It's a holiday today, Martin Luther King, I think. It's 12 p.m. So last week, I reached out to my mortgage lender, Penny Mac, and I told them that I wasn't going to be able to make the payments. I had an issue about 2 weeks ago. I was driving home, and on my way home, I was going into the driveway, and over here we pay for a road maintenance association, and for some reason they love to plow the snow into my driveway. So I went right into the snowbank, and the car did a skid. I hit the boulder, I should say sideswiped the boulder at the entrance to my driveway, and it caused quite a bit of damage. At first glance, it looked like the left fender was dented, the glass housing for the headlight was shattered. The electrics looked like they were working. The lights looked like they were working. The fog lights looked like they were working. But the fender was kind of pushed out, and the hood was the hood needed alignment. Needs an alignment. The panel was also pushed out. I took it off a little bit to take a look behind, and I saw that the wiper reservoir was completely shattered. The mechanism itself was probably damaged too, because when I tried to use it, I didn't hear the pump running. Also, I had a whole bunch of cracks in the radiator grill in the front and all that, so that was fun. I took a whole bunch of pictures. I didn't bother filing a police report because it was on my property. There's no one else involved. There's no damage to other property. So I filed the claim. I filed the claim with the insurance company, and thankfully, I have a smallish deductible. It's $500, but it's still money that I don't have. So I filed the claim. I brought it into the shop, and I'm like, "Can I pay the deductible now?" And he's like, "No, pay it afterwards. Pay it afterwards." I'm like, "It's really important that I pay it now because I don't know if these cards are gonna work by the time I have to pay the deductible." So he's like, "Okay, fine." So they charge like an additional, I think, like 3% on the transaction. So I used one credit card. It was expired. It was a car care credit card. Then I used another credit card that had like a $0 balance on it. That one went through, but it was a high interest rate. So it's another credit card I'm going to be responsible for. So I dropped it off at the shop, and I started calling around. I called my neighbor's daughter first. No answer. I called her girlfriend. No answer. I called my neighbor's friend. He said he'd be on his way and he'd pick me up. He just had to jump in the shower. I called after about 40 minutes or so. I get a call back from that same neighbor and my neighbor's friend, and he says he got a flat, but he would try to patch it with the kit, and he'd get to me as soon as possible. I'm like, don't worry about it. It's okay. It's no problem. Don't worry about it. I'll call someone else. Because this guy's always getting flats for some reason. So, I don't know. I just felt whatever. I really hate calling my neighbor directly for things because it's. I don't know how to explain it. Like when you call him and ask him for help, there's always it always makes your blood pressure go up, and he just has a. I called my neighbor. Long story short, I called my neighbor. I asked if he can help, and he's like, he doesn't have a car. His car is in Allentown, and he hasn't seen it for like a month. Okay, fine. So the shop owner sees what's going on. He's like, well, I mean, you just dropped the car off here. I mean, you can go with my dad, take your car, go home, and my dad will take the car back. I'm like, yeah, that'd be awesome. So I took his dad in the car. We talked for a little bit, whatever. I showed him where the accident happened. And we were just talking about stuff. And the car started making noises. And he's like, oh, that's probably the engine. I'm like, don't say that. Please don't say that. I rely on this car for income. So I dropped him off, and he took the car back. I think it was like a day or two later. I get a call from the auto insurance company, and the shop basically they put it on the lift. They took everything, all the panels off and stuff like that. I do want to point out that I did make a printout for the shop of things that I became aware of, and I explained to the guy that I hadn't put it on the lift. I didn't check out what other damage there might be. So I don't know if that helped or whatever, but he said he put it on the lift. He took the car was completely exposed, and there was a lot more damage than originally anticipated. So it ended up, instead of it being like about 1,000, I think 800 or something, it ended up becoming thousands more. And the adjuster's like, well, do you want me to write a check to the shop owner, or should I write a check to you? I'm like, well, I trust the guy. Just write a check to the shop owner. So that's what they're doing. I talked to the shop owner a little later, and he's like, yeah, this is probably going to be like 60 hours worth of labor. So it could be in the shop for about 3 weeks. Excuse me. So at that point, I came to the conclusion that I'm screwed. It's not. I decided then to reach out to my mortgage lender, and I called them up, and first call I was hung up on twice, I think. It wasn't rude or anything, it's just the call just dropped, or they hung up. I don't know what it was, but I called up a third time, and I'm like, do me a favor, if the call drops, please call me back. So I get a hold of someone over there and I explain the situation. I'm like, look, my unemployment's out. My unemployment's exhausted. I have no way to make income. My car is going to be in the shop for several weeks now. And the job market is brutal. I mean, I'm applying every week and I'm not getting responses back. So they're setting me up with a process called a mortgage assistance application. And I think it was about 2 or 3 days later, I finally had the option on PennyMac's website to fill out the mortgage application. So I start filling it out, and they're asking for reasons like, is this a sudden loss of income? Is a hardship, etc., etc. So I filled it out as honestly as I could. You know, I can't report my earnings from my car because I didn't. I just started like about a week or two ago, and I didn't even make $400. So I filled out the application, submitted what I hope it will be enough, and after I finish filling it out, at the end it says, hold tight, somebody's reviewing it. So that was, I filled it out, I believe, on Friday. So, I mean, there's a holiday in between. I guess stuff is going on, so I'm waiting. I thought I had rental reimbursement on my auto insurance. I don't. So I'm basically under house arrest. I'm stuck here, and my neighbors are being weird. I mean, they used to be helpful. You know, they'd call or but whatever. I can't hold that against him because you know he's got his own stuff to deal with. It snowed pretty heavy the last 2 days here in PA. And it's going to go down to the single digits. I think I told you guys I didn't qualify for the heat because they look at the previous month, and since I was making unemployment the previous month, it was too much. So I had to try again in February, and right now I am relying exclusively, mostly on space heaters to keep the place warm. And inside here, even though I have the space heater set for 70, the temperature right now is at 67. So yeah, it's just me and the doggy. I don't know if you can see him. He keeps me sane. So, yeah, that's the last update. I gotta get out and try to use the snow blower on the driveway while the weather is still warmish because it doesn't look like it's gonna melt for probably over a week now, and I need to be able to if I need to get groceries delivered or something, I have the food stamps, so that helps. All right, signing off.